Hi guys, Howard here once again with a kind of unusual lesson, I guess. But here's the deal. Well, you're probably even wondering about the title. What the heck does it mean, Howard? I posted a video yesterday, I think it was yesterday, for Plush by Stone Temple Pilots. And an old student of mine who now lives back east, hi, how you doing? He sent me an email this morning and he said, what's with that chord progression? He likes to write songs. And he said, I've heard that progression in so many songs. He cited Interstate Love Song, which is true. It's very similar. Maybe I'm Amazed by Paul McCartney, definitely true. And he said, how does that work with the chromatic bass line moving? And of course, you do hear that in a lot of songs, but he wanted to know, how does it work with the chords on top of it, because it's such a cool sound. It's pretty simple actually, and it's just kind of a fun thing to know how to do. Even if you don't write songs, you can use it in songs that you know to kind of reharmonize the bass line or whatever. So basically this is how it works. I'm going to do it in G because STP was in G, okay? But what I'm going to do is just use the same chord shapes, the same chord forms to show you how it works. Now you can look at it in a couple of different ways. You're going to move from the root chord, in this case, which would be a G, to a D, which is a fifth away. You can also look at it like G, moving to the chord that's a fourth below it. And they're all major chords, at least for now. So again, we're moving from a G chord to a D chord. So I'm going to play the G up here, 10th fret on the A string, and then bar the D, the G, and the B strings at the 12th fret. Now we're going to move to a D chord, which would be like that, but we're not going to move like that. We're going to simply play a D triad. So that'll be 10, 11, and 12 on the B, the G, and the D strings. But play it with your last three fingers and then take that bass note and move it a half step. So we're putting a third as the root of the D chord. And you can do that all the way down the fretboard and you'll get that sound. So as you can see, it does sound a lot like Maybe I'm Amazed, right? But it sounds a lot like a lot of other songs too, because it's been used so many times. Now that's how you would do it, just using the same chord shapes. And you can go as far as you want in the chord progression or whatever, right? So how that relates to STP, for instance, is the first four chords is exactly what they're playing, but they're just using different chord shapes, different inversions to do it. For instance, the G chord is played here, right? And then the D with the F sharp in the bass is played there, or if you prefer, like that, right? So we got this. And then the F chord is played just like an F chord. And then the C chord with the E in the bass is played like that. And then they actually even move to an E flat major seventh, right? But it's the same progression. Just a different way to do it. And that's a really cool thing. You can use it in your songwriting. As I said, you can use it to reharmonize bass lines in songs that you already know. All you have to remember is that simple movement of root to the fifth chord, root to the fifth chord. So for instance, if you were going to do it in C, you would have the C chord, and then you would want to think of G, right? Because you're moving from C to G. So you could play it like we did before, or you could just think of, it's been used so many times, right? So you can use different inversions of the chords, and then you would move to B flat, and then you would play an F triad over that open A string because you'd be over here, of course. So you can do it over any set of chords that you want to. You could do it over A, for instance. it's just a big circle without getting theoretical here, okay? It's just a big circle. And the movement is constant if you want it to be, or you can just do it in fragments, right? So moving from that C, for instance, you could keep traveling if you wanted to, moving from the A, and I'll explain what I did on the A. I played an A, and then thinking of an E chord over here, but I need that A flat or G sharp in the bass. Sounds good, and then we're back to G, right? So just a little ear cookie, kind of a shout out to my student who wanted to have that explained, and maybe some of you other guys might find it kind of interesting or useful. I think it's a great sound in any event. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys real soon.